All right. Hello and welcome to Live Free and Ham. I'm psyched as this is our Christmas gear episode. I've been waiting for this one for a long time. Oh, and it's our 100 subscriber show. So, you know what that means? You get presents, you get presents. Well, we'll be giving them away and raffling them. So, hopefully, you're in the chat there for that. But stay tuned tonight. We got some great items to, throw into or throw under the tree there. And so, looking forward to that. But as always, let me refresh your memories and your glasses to say, that we can always head over to the website, livefreeandham.com, and subscribe to our podcast. Make sure you like our channel, as well as we have a bunch of great stuff coming up this year that you definitely don't want to miss out on, both on our podcast and we'll be doing on our YouTube channel as well. So let's get into it today. I'm your host, Eric. My call sign's N1JUR, and I'm joined by
Paul, KF4TPY.
And Ryan, W1SNH.
And last but not least, I'm Todd, W1STJ.
All right, cool. Well, hey, before we get into discussion for tonight, as I always like to do with every show, is catch all of you guys up and let you know what's going on and where the Live Free and Ham crew might be. As always, we do a once a month live stream. So if this is your first time, catching our live stream, welcome. So if you haven't already, make sure you're a subscriber and you ding that bell so you get notified every time we go live. And we also update all of our socials, Instagram, and Facebook, although we aren't X users, so we apologize for that. But and we also have a special event coming up. Now, for those that already have listened to this week's pod episode, where Todd and I talk about our goals to getting the 1,000 contacts at the Nashua Rail Trail. First thing you need to do is head over to our website, subscribe to that, and listen to that podcast. But if you have, if you were listening close enough, we threw down a challenge, to our listeners where we said, we didn't know when we were going to activate the whole thing, but we figured, hey, let's do a little bit of an office pool. And in that office pool, we're going to have you guys, the listeners, pick the day or the month or both, actually, and decide when we're going to actually complete the kilo. It's sort of like an office pool, and the listeners that are closest to the date will win some pretty cool stuff, and we'll reveal more of that stuff down the road. Definitely head over to our website. There'll be more details there, and check back often to make sure that you don't miss out on that challenge coming up. So we're going to forego a little bit of what we talk about usually on our shows, is where we ask each other what's been going on in Ham Worlds, to really kind of get into the action. And so once we kind of dive into the deeper side of things, like I said, this is our gear episode on top of our 100 subscriber episode. We'll be doing at about the 30 and 45-minute mark giveaway. So make sure if you're in the chat that you're paying attention and listening for the keywords there. And so you can have an opportunity to win a couple of great items. We're giving away an HT and another Reliance antenna, NFED half-wave. If you've had a chance to go over to my channel and check that out, N1JUR did a great review with Matt from Reliance Antenna there. And, it's an awesome antenna. I use it a lot when I'm out doing my POTAs. So without further ado, let's get in and talk about how we're going to run tonight's show. So it's like I said, it's the gear episode. So we're going to be spending some time talking about our favorite things of 2023 that we liked. And we kind of broke it out in a couple of categories. And this is really not, an episode of, where you can send to your wife or, significant other and say, hey, or go buy me this stuff. Although it's possible, but it's only like, 5 days till Christmas. So if you're already at this, place in life, ham radio gear might not be the place to go. So, what we're going to do here is the format. I'm going to hold up the a bag that I have with a bunch of numbers in here. And so we are going to pick the order tonight for the deciding factor of who's going to, throw their product or, item or radio into the ring first and kind of go from there. So if Ryan, we'll start with you since, you're to my right here. If you want to go ahead and pick a number from 1 to 6, and if I pull out that number and it's the number you chose, then you will have the coveted first position, and then we'll continue on through Paul and Todd until that first spot is actually picked, and then we'll get the other 2 slots going. So go ahead and give me your number, sir.
All right, number 5.
All right, let's see what we got here. And we pull out, they're all stuck together because I use stick-its, silly boy. All right. Nope, that is not correct. All right, go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, 1 through 6, sir.
Let's go with 4.
All right. Let's see if My gosh. Note to self: do not use stickets as drawing numbers. They do not work well. No, that is not the number. All right, Todd, come on.
How about 3?
Let's go here. Oh, it is your lucky day. If I can get rid of this other sticker that's on top of this one. We got the number 3 for Todd. So he is coveted first position. All right. So between Ryan and Paul, go ahead, Ryan, pick a number 1 through 6 minus 3.
Number 1.
All right. And no, it is not number 1. Paul, go.
Stick with 4.
All right. Oh, it is so good. It is number 4. All right, cool. So the order tonight is Todd, Paul, and Ryan. All right. So to start us off here, we are going to talk about a bunch of gear selections we all either personally love, either the best radios, the stuff that we've coveted, or maybe we have in our own shack that we want to kind of throw in the ring. And the way this works is obviously the order's been chosen, that if the person has already announced that gear for that category, well, guess what? The other 2 have to scramble pretty fast and come up with a couple other different options, that might fit their want or their need and still be able to fit in the category. So to kick things off, Todd, how about you? So we're going to start off with the HF radio category here. And, so what do you have for your first choice for HF radios?
My first choice would be my Flex radio, of course.
Okay.
6400.
All right.
My second choice is obviously my Yaesu.
Oh, well, you can't continue. No, you hold your deals there. You only get 1 to the table for every category. So,
All right. Yeah, my Flex radio. I mean, it's a radio that I'm really learning how to use. I'm very novice at it, but I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it's definitely fun to use. So yeah, that's my number 1.
Okay, cool. Well, it's a hard pick because there's 3 other people here in the crew that have Flexes, and then you can toss that out with the bathwater.
So you can't pick the same.
They cannot
thing?
pick. Well, that's why we chose the order there. So they got to now scramble. I can see people's brains already churning, and see where we go. But I know where Paul's going to go. I can almost factor this in. Go ahead, Paul. What's your HF radio choice for 2023?
Since this year, new to the shack is the ICOM 7300.
Yes.
That is absolutely 100% my HF radio of the year.
Okay, well, that is a wonderful radio. I know you've had a joy and love with that piece of equipment, and it kind of puts Ryan in a tough spot. I mean, he's got both of those in his shack, both the Flex and an ICOM 7300. So I don't know, where is he going?
It's actually very straightforward. So new
elementary
this year,
Watson.
new this year in the shack is the mighty IC 705.
Oh yes, I totally forgot you had that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Team ICOM.
Yep. So we'll count 2 check marks next to ICOM there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's
Ryan, you could have done the 6600.
You could have. It's a different radio.
I'm a 6400, different radio, different.
That ICOM does more.
Oh, you heard it here, folks.
He's going back.
You can never give up, and never give up your first love, as they say. All right. Well, with that, then that makes me round out this category, and I'm surprised it left me wide open. My first choice obviously was the Flex, but I knew that was going to be scooped up by one of the 2 folks here on the pod here, but I am going to go with my DX10. I although I don't currently have it in possession right now, and I am, it's on loan to another ham. He is loving that radio. I have, that was my first official, we'll say, SDR radio that I kind of bought. Love the fact that it's a hybrid, and it's done wonderful for me for the period of time I had it before I made the leap to Flex, and it is going to forever have a very warm place in my heart and on my radio shelf going forward. So that's it for me. So if any of the listeners are out there or in the chat, feel free to join in and throw your items that you either use in your shack or you from our choices. Go ahead and chime in and add it in. We'll make sure we get your comments in there. Okay, so just diving into the next category we have here, sorry, is we're going to talk VHF, UHF radios. Now that kind of opens a very big, swath of space in radios. So tell me what your first choice is, why, and what one or two features that you think out of the deal is the one thing that makes that radio that more special to you. So go ahead and kick us off, Todd.
I think my Yaesu 300. That's my car. It's my Jeep radio. I love it. It's very simple to use. It's compact. It works well. Yeah, it's really cool, and it does the APRS. I've been able to easily manage things. You can switch to digital to analog with just a push of a button, and I probably use that radio more than any other radio because when I'm in the car, I'm normally calling my call sign out. So yeah, that's my favorite one. I'd recommend it to anyone. It's a dual. It's dual, two different channels, so you can switch between the two and monitor two of them. So it's a nice radio.
Sweet. Yeah, I would agree 100% with that radio. I think, Ryan you don't have a 300 at all, Ryan, do you? You traded up, right?
No, I still have the 300 in the car. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yep.
I didn't know you had that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, cool. So 300 is definitely a good radio, awesome features. And, the one thing that, I'm just going to put a dig out there for K-Murder or Mr. Ham Radio Tube, APRS does rock. So, anyway, well, enough with that. Over to you, Paul. What's your pick for VHF UHF?
So as far as VHF UHF, I got to go with the radio that's in my truck. I'm gonna one up Todd just a little bit because it's the Yaesu FTM 400 XDR. Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
The things that I absolutely love about that radio is I love the detachable face, the full color display, dual band, dual VFO. So often I've got the local repeater up on the A band, and then I've got simplex 2-meter calling on B band. And I'm always at least monitoring those two, but I've got so many different, like municipality frequencies and stuff programmed in too. So if I do any traveling around the state, or even like, in April when I drove down to Florida, I'll be doing it again this coming April. I'll run APRS the whole way on the B band, and then I'll cycle through the calling frequencies on the A band. But yeah, it's fantastic radio, and it can do cross mode repeat.
Yeah, I agree. I use that radio in my shack. It's my shack radio, and I love it. It's great. It's very similar. It's got a little bit some extra different features like the touch screen and stuff, but for my Jeep, the 300 is a little bit skinnier, a little bit smaller, doesn't take up as much space. But for the shack, the 400 is it's very useful. So
yeah, I agree. I mean,
400,
I'd say pretty good.
Yeah, either one of them is. I mean, you're not going to go wrong whichever one you want. But I had to get another one, and when I got the Jeep, because I was going to get the 991A, and I said no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to get the DX10, so I needed a 2-band radio, and I said, well, I already got the 400. Why don't I try a 300? And so I was glad I did it.
Fell in love. Yep. Yeah, my 300 story is pretty much I asked for a 400 for Christmas, and my wife got bamboozled by the guys at HRO for the 300, saying it was newer, and my look on my face was, oh, this isn't the 400. And I acted like a little toddler, sadly. And I realized, now that the 300 is way far more superior in a lot of other features than just the feature that I was kind of really looking for, which is the APRS component, which, I love the touchscreen option, but, I definitely like as Todd said, the small little form factor and that the head is, not huge on my dash and whatnot. And that's kind of just more of a personal preference, but yeah. But the APRS implementation is kind of, a hot garbage a little bit. Okay, well, so all right, so 300 with Todd there, 400 with Paul. What do you bring to the table there? Let's see if we can round this out.
So I do use both the 300 and 500, great radios, but my pick for this category is going to be my 705 because I have it hooked up to the shack. I can remote in on the phone, and it does it great. So 5 watts and it 10 watts when it's plugged into shack power, but it performs awesome and hits all the boxes that tasks that I'm looking for it to do around the shack and operating remote
That's awesome. Yeah.
So is that the radio you use when you check in, when you're in the shack and you check in on the net?
Yes.
It is. Coming good.
I might have to put another radio on my Christmas list.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't
and
we
you got
all?
yeah, D-Start. Well, hey, and until our final picks at the very end, which we won't reveal now, we'll let everybody kind of sit back and hope and dream. We're looking for a replacement in the Icom world or in the Yaesu world, but we'll talk about it a bit. So, do you do much D-Start all on it at all?
No, there's not too many D-Star in our area. It's all
Mhm.
fusion based, so that's where the Yaesu, checks off a win. But
Right.
but I really like the radio. And there's a mod coming out. There's a company that did a power board for it. It allows it to 12-volt charging, and it gives it a nice clean output for using with the amplifier.
Oh, is that the one that does USB-C charging?
Yes.
Yes, yeah. HRCC did a review on that. That was pretty cool.
Yes. Yeah. So I got that on back order, and in the future, I might be able to hook it up to an amp.
Well, then, now it's toe to toe with another said radio that kind of fits in the HF category that, I covet as well. So, and actually we didn't mention an HF. So, although, that will kind of fit in the POTUS stuff. So, yeah. So, good on that. So, Team ICOM still going strong here. And, we got Yaesu, kind of pulling up the ranks in the back. For me, I'm going to go HT. I mean, we kind of talked about mobile rigs here. I love my FTD 3D or
Mhm.
3D. Yeah, that's what it is. I can never get the letters right. Although there's some shortcomings on the radio. It's one of those things that every time I get in front of it, it's almost like a new experience because, I kind of like love the fact that the size of it and the touch screen and all the capabilities that are built into it with APRS are great, for an HT. I mean, there's always a lot of shortcomings in that area, but the replacement to that, the 5 with a couple of new upgrades, which I don't have yet, would have, definitely been, my first pick if I didn't have the 3 already. And for the price point, it's definitely worth, the system, the design and the functionality of the radio. It's pretty rugged. I have the proverbial, every time I see a door frame and I have something on my hip, I always destroy whatever's, fixed to my hip. So I don't put my phone on my belt clip any longer, and I guarantee that every time on field day rolls around, I am always bound to hit my FT3 off a table or something to that effect, and it takes a beating and keeps coming back. So I'm pretty happy with that one. So cool. All right, well, we've got three mobile rigs there and a small HT, so it's pretty good for that round there. I'm thinking, once we kind of dive into a little bit more of an area, not all of us kind of do, although Ryan's, I'm sure going to bring this to the table for the QRP side of this thing too, which we can all kind of say that, we all know where he's going. But Todd, what do you got for QRP options? Maybe you can, dethrone his choice.
Well, I'm going to go into the future, and I'm going to pick the Yaesu 705 Killer as my QRP radio that doesn't exist yet, or at least we don't know.
Well, it has to be 2023. So as the official judge, I'm going to veto you.
Well, I don't have a QRP radio.
Well, you technically do. You can drop the 891 down.
Yeah, so I would say like the 891 because I've tried it on QRP, but it gets harder and it's just easier to jack up the. Go back to back 100, right? But yeah, so yeah, the 891, that's my POTA rig, and that's what I travel with, and that's a great little radio, and it it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, but for POTA it works awesome. So if you're looking to get into POTA, that's the first one you should get because it does everything. It's got a lot of power and it's compact.
Okay, cool. Well, I agree with that 100%, and you won't get an argument out of me on that one. And yes, you can go down to 10 watts and pretend you're doing QRP. All right. Well, so Paul, what you got for your QRP thoughts or,
Well, so I don't have a QRP radio. I have run the ICOM 706 Mark II-G as QRP, and I've run the 891 as QRP, but I've been looking, especially this year, for a good quality QRP radio that's going to be light, compact, going to easy throw in my bag. Maybe a lighter option from taking the full pack. And so what I was looking at was the USDX, the true SDX.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I might have to double check the 705s.
So what is your official choice in order for me to log it properly?
The official choice, I've been leaning hard towards the USDX.
Okay. All right. We got you in for the USDX. Excellent radio for a lot of QRP and soda and whatnot. And it tends to be the choice of many. So yeah, good on that one. Cool. All right. Well, Ryan, we all have been waiting patiently. What's your choice?
Yeah, so I'm going to switch it up a bit here and just go with the IC 705.
Excellent.
A very logical conclusion there.
It's
Good thing I
it's
didn't
the
steal
Shackens
it away from
box. The only thing it's short of is 100 watts, and it would totally blow the 891 and everything else out of the water. It would do everything.
It's too bad you can't buy like a little mini amp that you could connect to it that would push it up to 100 watts.
Well, you can.
Oh, but you can.
Yeah.
How big is it?
Beautiful one.
Yes.
Elecraft makes a mini, like something that you could throw in a backpack.
100 watts. Yeah, it's beautiful. With a tuner, it's awesome.
Oh, wow.
See what we're missing out, Todd. And waterfall.
Yeah. Well, that's the best. The waterfall, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can only hope one day that Yaesu decides to get their heads out of their butts and decide to do something phenomenal with a merge of the 891 and the 710 and stop calling the 710 a field radio. It is not. That's my own opinion. All right. So I have to say, I'm glad no one bothered to scoop this one up. I am a big fan of this little QRP rig. This is my FX4CR. Those that have seen the Beach Go Bag review on my channel, I went over that pretty well in detail. And it for construction, for
Can you
overall use. What's that?
Can you post a picture there?
No, I can't actually. I wish I could. Sadly, I don't have any pictures of it. It's such a great radio. No one can look at it. It's it's like it goes to 11 and no one shall touch it. But with the FX4CR, if those you haven't seen it, you can go up to bg2fx.com. There, and I should mention, I've totally forgot all of the stuff that we talk about. Although all links will be in our show notes, so just make sure you check those show notes if you're looking for any of the stuff that we talked about or mentioned. But the FX4CR is, if you've not seen many of the reviews, I did one on my channel. There's plenty more on the internet. It is a well-constructed, has its own waterfall, does 20 watts, does Bluetooth digital out, has a beautiful, well-built microphone. It has a phenomenal speaker, which is, the biggest thing with a lot of folks who do QRP. The speakers are just not that, robust, or, they just sound tinny and whatever. This one just is just a phenomenal job all day, every day. And every time I take it out, I'm just totally amazed by its use and the power it has. And it's done me well so far. I haven't run into a place that I have not, been, hey, I'm going to go to my FX4CR. So, checks all the boxes. So that would definitely be my QRP, pick for that category. So we are actually coming up on the top of the hour here. So, or at least the top of the half hour. And so we're going to kick off our first giveaway here. So if those that want to be, or those that are in the chat, we are going to be doing for our first giveaway a giveaway for Radio Oddity GC5 handheld HT. So if you want to get in on that giveaway, all you have to do is put in the chat #repeater once I get the giveaway stream tool up here, and we'll let this run for a little bit. And it's repeater in all caps. And so let me get this going here. One more tab. There's always 4 windows that you have to do to get this working. Share screen. And we want to do, oh, lovely. There we go. Let me go. 1 second while here. So sadly, I have to do this in a different browser because, why not? Here we go. All right. So let's go here. All right. Allow. No. Why'd you go there? You silly browser. Play with me today. No, sorry, guys. This is not one of those technical difficulties that
That's okay. Stay with us. We have
stay on
time.
target. AWAY. There we go. Let's get the right one here. All right. # repeater, all caps, is what we're going to use for the keyword. So make sure you put that in the chat, and we'll run that for the next couple of seconds here or so. So if you want to get in on the giveaway there for the Radio Oddity GC5, definitely put in # repeater. So while we're kind of doing that, guys, just on a sidebar, what do you guys kind of do for your normal family holidays during Christmas? Anything special traditions that you guys kind of do that you like to mention or share while we're kind of waiting for the entries to kind of flow through here?
Eat a lot of desserts.
Any special desserts, Ryan?
There's chocolate pie, cherry pie, apple pie, pumpkin pie, chocolate mousse pie, banana cream pie. I mean, a slice of each will do just fine.
And icon
as
pie,
long as it's not pecan.
I only eat pecan pie.
So is it pecan or pecan? Which one?
It's the pecans.
They're all.
Yeah.
So for me, it's unfortunately I have to get up really early. My kids like to get up before the roosters start going, 4 or 5 o'clock. Like all I want to do is sleep, and why are you waking me up in the morning? Maybe it'll be different this year, but I don't know.
Hey, as they get older, let me say that the benefit to that is that they sleep in longer.
Right. Well, our Christmas is typically done before the sun comes up. So.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. How about you, Paul? What's your traditions in Christmas that you enjoy doing, or besides eating pecan pie?
Pecan pie is for the wife. I don't do pecans. I'm all about pumpkin and apple. I love pies and sweets. But no, Christmas for us, it's relatively low key. The in-laws live across the street, so we let the boy get up. He's the last one in the house. He's 13, but we let him get up and kind of open his stocking, and then he has to wait for us for gifts. But he knows 7 o'clock is the hard line. Don't wake us up before 7, or we're gonna make sure that we have coffee and breakfast, and you're gonna wait till 9 before you open gifts.
Good job. Yeah, nice job there. Well, so I'm with you. I, as anybody can contest, I am not a dessert guy, so I can't really much rejoice. I will have a slice maybe once in a while, but I'm not one to dive fully into that. I'm for our traditions here. We tend to like to do kind of things leading up to Christmas. So we'll do like a big. We went to a dinner party. A murder mystery this year was one of our fun ones down at LaBelle Winery in Londonderry, and they did a Christmas dinner theater murder show, and it was pretty fun. And I think Todd, my daughter, sent you a certain video.
Yes, I do have the video.
that shall not get out.
Yeah,
you could share with the crew.
We might have to post that secretly somewhere. It was. I was like, "What?" I go, "What is your dad doing?"
I had to read Bob Marley's part in the Christmas Carol, and of course I had to do it in a voice that was of the Bob Marley himself, and I did a horrible hack job because I didn't have my glasses with me. So anyway, so just to let folks know, we'll get a couple more seconds in here to get the repeater entry going. But so we like to do stuff like that, and our Christmas is pretty, like Paul said, pretty low key, and our kids are in their 20s, so they don't roll out of bed until like maybe 11, 12 if we're early and lucky. So I definitely get to sleep in and have coffee and breakfast and enjoy.
Well, you want my kids Christmas Eve?
I've already done it, man. I've done it, been there, done that. All right, cool. All right, well, so we got 16 here in the drawing, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the draw button here, and we're going to see what we get. All right, the winner of the Radio Oddity GC5, sorry, is for Guy Lee, KN6WET. Guy, if you can, I will look you up on QRZ, but if you can do me a favor and just send an email to livefreeandham@gmail.com with your shipping detail information. If it's different than what it is on QRZ, I will make sure we get that out to you. And congratulations on the radio there. So, all
Yeah,
right.
Guy, don't wet your pants.
I assume
Love the call sign.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Love the call
Cool.
sign.
Roger that. All right. Well, so let's keep plugging away here, guys. So we got a couple more categories to go through here. And so we've already wrapped up the probably 3 major categories when it comes to radios and stuff, but let's dive into antennas. I know a lot of us love antennas. We all have a deep, close admiration for different antennas, and a few of them I'm sure will definitely come out both on our POTA events and whatnot. So obviously, Todd, starting off the top of the list here, what antenna do you want to throw into your ring for a wire style antenna? Do you have a wire style antenna that you've used? I know you did purchase one, but I don't know if it's been in use yet.
Well, portable, though, I haven't used it yet, but I would say my off-center dipole, that's my main antenna for HF at the shack. It's been very good to me. Gone all around the world with it. Antarctica on FT8. Sideband as far away as New Zealand and Australia. And yeah, it's been good. It's been...
What is it, a Buckmaster?
No, it's I forget what the brand name is, but it's nothing really super fancy, but it was recommended to me by another ham that I know, and he had it and he said it works great, and so we put it up. It's probably been 3 years.
Yeah, it's a radio. Wasn't it radio waves? I think it was.
Yeah, radio waves.
Waves. Okay.
Off-center dipole.
Yep.
80, it does. Yeah, 80-10, and it's been good. It's been up, and it only kind of got knocked down in that ice storm. It didn't even get knocked down. It just kind of lowered. So this summer, Eric and I shot it back up and got a little bit higher. And I was nervous because I was making Australia, and I was afraid if I moved it, I'd start losing that. But I didn't. So it was all good.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's a good choice there.
Yeah, radio waves. Yeah, good antenna.
Yep. Yeah, and you can get a lot of those at HRO and whatnot. They tend to be very popular there, and very good. Very good antenna for sure. All right. Well, how about you, Paul? What do you got for your own wire antenna?
Well, so I guess my absolute favorite wire antenna, it's a toss up because there's wire antennas that I love to use portable, and then there's my wire antenna at home. But the wire antenna at home gets the most use, and that is the K1JEK Kilo 1 Juliet Echo Kilo Cobra Ultralight Senior antenna. The antennas are made right here in Northwood, New Hampshire. It's built and designed to stand up to New England winters. And as Eric can attest, the wind may break the lines that hold it in place, but the antenna itself does not break.
No, I firsthand can contest that.
Yeah, that antenna came down 2 or 3 times over the course of the winter. No harm to the antenna whatsoever. It's fantastic. It's about 5 degrees off of a direct north-south orientation and 65 feet in the air. But it does everything from 160 to 10.
Wow. 10
not so great, but 160 to 10. And yeah, like Todd said, I mean, I've had single sideband conversations all the way to New Zealand to the west, and all the way to Turkey in the east. So, I mean, it's just a fantastic antenna.
Yeah, definitely you have benefited from that thing, and I'm surprised, over all of our winters, and it's in open air, it's open and free space where it is, so it's like it gets beat on hard.
Yep. Yeah, and there's a big coil of ladder line because it's ladder line fed. So there's a big coil of ladder line up there, and that catches all the snow and the ice and everything, and it'll pull the antenna down a little bit, but just shake it free and back up she goes.
Very cool. Awesome. All right. Well, that's good on that choice there. And so another reliable antenna. I've been throwing a couple from folks in the chat. I noticed that Ryan made a note to an antenna that I was going to mention for portable, but I second the N3 VAN end-fed half wave. Todd and I both have one, and I did a review on that and love that antenna for portable use and whatnot, but a great, even home antenna if you need something in a pinch. So how about you, Ryan? So what do you got?
So I got two antennas in mind. One I'm going to save for the POTA section. So for at home in the shack, I really like, and so one I started out with is my antennas end-fed half wave.
Okay.
The founder was originally from New Hampshire, and he's a friend of a local ham here, and he has them cut for a broad range of frequencies. And I've bought, I have one active right now that gives me 75 through 10. I bought a second one that's 160, and then I have a third one that's cut only for 60 meter.
Nice.
So it's great brand. I like it a lot. It's very robust. I don't have an amp, but it can handle a full 1500 watts, and it tunes up great. I mean, I don't need a tuner. The radio, the 301 tuner in the radio handles it fine.
Most of the time, the matches on those antennas are pretty much like 1.5 to 1 on most of the bands.
Yeah, it's spot on. So it's a wonderful radio. I have it the one end mounted up on the tower, and the other end's going over to a tree, and it's awesome. So myantennas.com end-fed half wave.
Yeah, I would second that antenna. That is my primary antenna for sure, in terms of setup, and I've got it in inverted L, and I can basically confirm exactly what Ryan says. It's a great listening antenna, great transmit antenna, and it tunes up everything straight from, at least for mine. Mine's an 80 through 10, less than 1.5 to 1 in most cases. I rarely ever have to worry about throwing the tuner on there to dial it down or get it matched. So, yeah, awesome antenna for sure.
Cool.
So, all right. So for me, my first antenna obviously was that, choice there. But I am going to go with, and it's already been mentioned in the chat there, N3VAN's Reliance antenna. That is my primary, that would be my primary end-fed antenna. I have strung that up. I use it a lot for portable, but at the same time, I would probably trust it to all of the elements in New England, because it's well constructed. I did an awesome review with, and we had a live stream on my channel with Ryan, with Matt, from Reliance. And he has done some really good designs with that antenna, and it's really well priced in terms of, quality, construction, and, and goes toe to toe with a lot of the other, smaller size antennas. But, that would be, it's kind of hard because I look at that because that's more portable for me. So if I had to use, a wire antenna, I think I would go with my, the one I used for field day last year, and the name is escaping me. It was, Chameleon. It was a Chameleon, LEFS. So the lightweight end-fed antenna.
Sloper.
That one worked phenomenal for field day both years that we used it, and it is a rock solid antenna, well constructed. Didn't have to do any tuning on it, and it just worked right out of the box from 40 through 10. So, I mean, the only drawback is that it was 40.
Is that the one that I used 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years
when
ago.
I had all the contacts. Yeah, that thing was good.
Yeah, that one had great ears, and that we set that up in a sloper, and then we did it the second year for the Goda tent, and the guy who ran the Goda tent, had great success with that too as well. And so, yeah, it's been a tried and true performer for sure. All right. Well, we are getting near the second quarter of the hour there, so we are going to run the second giveaway here. So let's get that in the mix. The second giveaway is, we've been talking a lot about Reliance antenna. I happen to have Reliance antenna end-fed half wave, 40 through 10. Yes, 40 through 10. Almost full legal limit. I think it's two. No, it's not. That my mistake. My apologies. It's 100. It's 200 watts, and does 40 through 10 end-fed half wave. If you want to learn more about it, obviously you can go up to Reliance antenna. But I did a review on it, and you can go over to my channel, N1JUR, check that out, and learn more about that antenna. And Todd's actually got it up there. It's the bug out version. This is a very small, portable, light antenna. You will be totally amazed with its, performance, its, capabilities, and the scale of it in terms of size, matches toe to toe with a lot of the other guys that are out there, like the K6 ARKs and the PAC-10s and whatnot. And, I love PAC-10s, but they're always unobtainium. So, if you're looking for a good alternative, they are definitely the places to go. And obviously Todd's throwing it up against his phone, and you can see how small it is. So we are going to do the second drawing for that end-fed, and we are going to use the keyword # propagation, all in caps. So Let me get this set up again.
Propagation.
Propagation. All right. So let me back out of this tool. Come on. Don't give me a hard time.
Now, Eric,
right.
just out of curiosity, while you're thinking on setting this giveaway up, I'm curious as to what the value of the giveaway is. Like,
Yep.
how much does it cost to buy that antenna setup?
Well, so if you go up to their website, this is the stealth wire version. So it includes it's the 40 through 10 bug out stealth wire, green winder, kite winder.
It's this one.
The numbers basically, I think it puts it right around like about 85 to $90, and then you throw shipping on there, depending how quick you want it. You can expect to pay right around just shy of about $100. So
you said the bug out antenna and fed
Yep.
halfway,
and fed halfway bug out antenna.
yeah, $50.
Okay, so that's the antenna, and then that including the transformer too.
I just pulled up the web, so it might just
Okay, so
be.
there's two pieces. So there's the
Okay.
wire piece, and then there's the transformer piece.
All right,
Yeah,
so that's
two different-
so
Yeah, you buy this
Transformer, yep.
that, and then you buy this piece.
Yep.
right here. And it comes together as one when you put them together.
Yep. All right, so we have got the keyword of propagation spelled exactly the way you see it on the screen, and we'll let that run for a little bit. And so, all right, let me pose you guys, throw another question in there. What is one thing in Christmas that you can't stand that sort of makes you feel grinchy? Anybody want to share one thing that they kind of they deal with on a yearly basis, or things comes up that just makes you kind of feel grinchy?
Yeah, I got it right away. The amount of paper and trash and cardboard and trash bags you got to haul to the town dump after.
I am right there with you. Absolutely. My house turns into like you're at one of those foam parties of just wrapping paper in boxes.
This year I have a fire pit at the house.
Not big enough.
On fire. Oh yeah, up in smoke.
So you're just too short of causing the woods to catch fire because all the little paper just streams away from the fire pit.
Snow this winter. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Right. You might have to watch
And
that.
I have a big burn pile. I've been waiting to burn as soon as the snow comes down, but we keep getting rain. So
yeah,
we throw some 100 low lead on it and just poof.
So maybe it's just me, but one of the things about the Christmas season, if you will, that absolutely drives me nuts is I'm big into Halloween, and the people around Halloween time that are already playing Christmas music and have their Christmas decorations out. Like, can you just give it a rest, please? Because let me tell you. Well, and so I worked retail through like the end of high school and a couple years here and there before I got into the trades. And you hear the same Christmas songs over and over and over and over again. And so like even now, 30 some odd years later, like I hear those songs and it's before Thanksgiving and I'm just like, no, I'm bah mugged.
So at field day, I'm going to be bringing some Christmas music to be blasting over on your station.
Just for distraction purposes.
June.
It's Christmas in July, man.
Just to kind of ease you into the season.
I'll bring the boombox with some heavy metal and some bagpipes.
Well, that's gonna be fun. So yeah, I guess for my pet peeve, the one thing I don't like is that when I'm forced into certain festive holiday traditions that that may either be in my wife's mind or in my family's mind, that like just kind of like it just piles on to the whole already stress situation. So anytime that happens, and it's not like we've planned it or organized it, I get like really, like my wife calls me the Grinch, and when she starts to call me the Grinch, I then start acting the part out really well. So I try to kind of curb that very quickly, and try to show that I actually have a live heart and it does beat and it loves people. And so she she tries to push that envelope sometimes, and sometimes she wins and sometimes I win. So it's just a matter of making sure that the holiday is all fun for everybody and not forced. So.
Well, my biggest thing that I can't stand is having to put everything together. I have a 10-year-old, so oh, can you put this together? And then it's like you spend all this time, you go through, you put it together, and then it's on to the next thing. It's like you didn't even play with the thing you just put together.
Well,
Yeah.
there's a secret to that. There's a secret to that, Todd.
Yeah,
And
what's
and that is that you put all of that stuff together before Christmas,
yeah,
Mm.
I don't
and
like
then
putting
you
it together.
wrap it already put
Mhm.
together.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. I don't even like doing it before Christmas, after Christmas at all.
And
So-
I got one more before Eric pulls the drawing here.
Get
Is the required batteries with all the
Oh,
Oh,
or yeah.
double A's, triple A's.
Mhm.
running
Yeah,
out
never
to
have
Wal-
enough of them.
running out to the gas station to get the I forgot the batteries.
Yeah.
You're gonna suffer. You have to wait till Tuesday. That's the way it goes in my book. All right, cool. All right, so with that, we are going to pull the drawing for the Reliance NFED, and so here we go. All right, and the winner is Hyatt Klintz. All right, Hyatt. Congratulations on that antenna there. If you can do me a favor and just make sure you send an email to livefreeandham@gmail, and we'll make sure we get your call sign and your address information in that email, and I'll make sure we get that antenna out to you. So thanks again for all those folks. And let's kind of wrap this up. So we're getting close. So we got a couple more categories that we want to round out here. So let's talk about those. And so let's talk. We talked a little bit on antennas, and I think we're only going to maybe cover one other area. So we've got other category in the antennas, and so let's go kind of quickly through. Todd, what other antenna might you throw into the ring, whether it's portable or any one of those
Buddy
categories.
Pole Pro. That
Yeah.
is an awesome antenna. I love it. It's my POTA antenna. It never fails. It's very easy to use and goes up and down real quick, very compact. I throw it in my backpack and it's done wonders for me. So yeah, that's my portable, my traveling antenna. I love it. And it's a vertical and it's on a coil and it just works great.
Awesome. Yeah, I agree with that. That's definitely been our lifesaver on 10 meters every time.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. How about you, Paul?
I guess it's a tough one, because as far as portable goes, I technically have 3 antennas that I have.
Okay. If you could only love one.
I mean, I guess so. Currently, the go-to is the Xtenna. It works fantastic. I love the ability to switch the balun on it. I can set it up as a vertical. I can set it up as a sloper. It just works. Inverted V. It's a great, versatile, very small, packed antenna. Guy says in the chat, the Wolf River coil, and that was in the back of my brain there.
Mhm. Yep. However, that's not your choice. It's
not my choice.
Still on the board.
Eric's choice.
Maybe. Let's see what Ryan's got.
So I have a couple of them. I'm in the process of building them out. Is the K6 ARK NFED half waves, and I bought several of his kits to go with the 705. I'll make a few of them resonant on various frequencies, and then a more of a broadbander. But I like the kit. It's neat. It's small and
Very small.
So that's my choice. The K6 ARK.
Awesome. Yeah, good antenna. Definitely, I would recommend anything that Adam puts together. They are, he field tests the crap out of those things, and they are definitely, well worth the money and the antenna itself. So, for me, obviously, we all know I am a big Wolf River coil lover. I love my Wolf River coil. That was the first antenna I ever kind of started out with. So I'm running the Silver Bullet Mini original. The one thing I do differently than a lot of other kind of configurations is I run it in a center loaded configuration. So I've got the two 24-inch 24-inch threaded rods. I find, and actually I'm running a giveaway or a 7 days to, my kilo for Reed's Ferry on my channel. And I had to use my Wolf River coil because my ATAS decided to have SWR fits and wouldn't tune lower than a 3-to-1. So I pulled out the Wolf River coil, set it up, and again, it did not disappoint. It came through and use, in that center loader configuration, it just, it hears everything, and people hear me. I was getting signal reports 5.9+20 out of Ohio and Texas, and a few stations that were even a little bit above the noise in California. And so, it does not disappoint. So it's a great, antenna, and as a lot of people in the, chat are saying that, that they definitely use that as their go-to as well. So I can definitely, go with that. So, all right. So our
real quick,
Yeah.
just before we get off the antennas, for the UHF, VHF guys, this is my Ed Fong antenna in.
Oh yeah, we didn't have a category for that, right?
This thing is amazing. All right, it sits in PVC pipe. I leave it here, and basically what I do is the reason I know it's so good is when I didn't have a flex, or I didn't have I wasn't doing POD or anything when I was a technician. I was down at the Cape, and I had a HT, and I set that up, and that antenna on a tripod sitting on the deck, and I was hitting a repeater 60 miles away, and these guys could not believe on this net that I was on. They're like, "What antenna are you using?" And I told them, I said, "Listen, this thing is amazing." And then when I went down to the Caribbean, the Virgin Islands, I brought the kind of fold up version, the not in the pole, just kind of loose, and you just hang it from something. And I was using the HT, and I was hitting Puerto Rico, St. Croix. I mean, really on an HT with those antennas. So the thing is just awesome. So if you're looking for a good VHF, UHF antenna, and you want to save some money, it's definitely worth it. It's highly recommend it.
Yep.
Love my Fong.
Yes.
What?
He loves this long. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He's got one in rainbow colors. He's got one in red. He's got one in white. Anyway.
Yeah, they were at Nearfest this past fall. They were also there in the spring too.
Yeah, I would definitely confer with that one. The one thing I didn't mention, and I just totally skipped on my notes, and we won't get into too much detail with it, is my buddy Hex. I don't want to brag much about that thing, but even it worked phenomenally. Even though Todd fried his finals at field day, he was still able to make contact with the
No finals. I made like what, 5 or 4?
5 contacts. 5 contacts
with
on
no
less
finals.
Yep, no finals on a radio. So that speaks volumes for sure in my book.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
That Buddy Pole company is definitely the antennas are great, and they're definitely, if you're doing POTA or your field day stuff like those, you can't go wrong with them. And the one thing I think the biggest difference between that and the one that you were using, the Wolf River Coil, is the Buddy Pole Pro. I think it's more compact. So if you're looking to be more compact, like if you're traveling, flying, or something like that, I think that's the only disadvantage. But Eric and I have done double POTA activation using both those antennas, and they, in my opinion, they both work the same. Like there was no one that was better or less. So.
Yep. Yeah, full-hearted agree. I think all of us have had one of those, whether it's just a ladder line version or in the PVC pipe as well. So it has not let or disappointed us. So all right, so this is the coveted category box for or category area called gear bags or go boxes. So we're going to kind of break this down into really 2 key areas. First thing we're going to talk about is gear bags or go boxes. Your choice. You can decide, and there's no wrong answer with this one, because I know all of us have some gear boxes or go boxes, and some of us have gear bags. So Todd, what's your kind of first pick in either of those categories, whether you're applying it to POTA or SOTA, or just every day kind of get out and operate in the field?
All right, so I got a 511 bag. Is for my POTA bag. It holds a small tuner, the 891, a nice good sized battery, my iPad, all my cables, my antenna, and there's also room for some other stuff. But it's really compact. It's heavy, but when you got everything. But I lug that thing on planes and everything, and it's a great material, great material, and it's got a lot of room. And what I like about it is when you unzip it, the whole thing opens up, so it's like completely open and vertical. So like you can just lay it down, open it up, and everything is right there. So you don't have to like reach into it. The zippers go all the way around. So that's what I use. And I had a smaller one, but when I wanted to get all my gear in, I had to go up a little bit, and it works awesome. So I like it.
Yeah, 511 makes some good stuff for sure. All right, Paul, what's your pick? Since I know you were working on your pack last time, trying to drop it down from 30 or 40 pounds to 30 something or whatever it was the number was. So what are you using for gear bags or go boxes or mix of both?
Well, yeah. So originally I was using the bag that came with my Chameleon MPass 2.0, and well, it's a great bag. It's just it lacks in a lot of the compartmentalization areas. Um, and actually, I gotta give credit to Ham Radio 2.0 because he put out I don't remember if it was Gigaparts or HRO. They were doing some like expedition backpack, and if you bought it, you got 4 free small bags that go in it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
No,
that's the POTA bag now, and it's an amazing bag. But what makes that key is these these Chinese bags, these little canvas Kyoto bags. I'll post a link in the chat. But these bags they're nice, heavy canvas. They got a nice heavy zipper, a nice little pull tab on them, and they're color coded, so it makes it easy to organize things. Um, and for me at least on portable aspects, like having the color coded bags made a world of difference in getting things organized and being able to grab what I need when I need it.
dude, that was the best thing you ever did. I was totally impressed with that system. We'll have to dive into some of that stuff in the future episodes, but yeah, he color coded a lot of stuff like for power for red and green for antenna and ground radials. And I was just like, dude, that's smart. Period. So good job on that
Yeah.
one. All right, Ryan, what do you got for your bag there or your go kit?
Yeah, so one of the YouTube channels had posted these, and I looked into them and realized, hey, this is really very similar to Paul's. They're called Hilltop bags, made down in it's either Virginia or West Virginia. Very lightweight, like parachute material, so it's very thin and it compresses well. But they're various sizes: small, medium, large. You can separate all your like you just described. Your ground wire antennas, your coax adapters, everything you need, and have it sorted in a bag. So I'll also post a link here in the in the
Yeah,
chat.
we'll make sure all those are in the show notes too as well. So you have all of them. You can go back and do the team replay.
They're cheap and they're awesome. So real good organization.
Very cool. All right. Well, I'd say for me, my go bag, gear bag, I used to have a POTA bag, which was oh, I can't remember who it was. It was a smaller bag. Had, either way, I ended up transferring out of it because it couldn't handle all the stuff I was carrying. So I went with the Tenba 24T, and that one is primarily kind of advertised as a camera bag, but it's got a lot of great pocket systems and good storage. And I spent a lot of time just kind of researching bags for the purposes of what can I get out of it in terms of both strength and durability, but what can it give me for like modularity so I can adjust the straps or the compartments and whatnot. And so that bag has got all the features that I would expect out of my Osprey Manta 34, which is basically a backpack for day hiking and stuff. So it's got all of the built-in capabilities for all of that, for water storage and the hip pads and belt and all that other stuff. But the compartments in it are phenomenal in terms of access and for being able to stick everything. So I carry a lot of my equipment around with me for cameras and video and stuff like that. So I got to have space for that, and it adds to the weight of that on top of it. But being able to throw the 891 in there, the couple devices for logging, and all of the zip bags for all of the parts and stuff like that, all fit in that bag, and it's actually probably right around maybe 35 pounds. So it's heavier than usual, but I'm not backpacking with it, so I don't mind throwing it in a truck and just kind of going with it, and it keeps everything all in well padded space. So that's my kind of go-to with that.
Yeah, and we used both Eric's and my bag when we did the Rove on the Seacoast, right. And we were very well organized, and it was like setting up, taking down, back and forth, and it was very. They were both. If we had to go walk to the beach, and leave the car or distance, we just grabbed the stuff and went. It wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, that was a good point.
So-
Yeah, basically just quick and dirty and in and out. Cool. All right. So what we could probably go for hours in bags, and if you ever want to learn more, we can definitely do a separate episode and talking about this stuff. But let's get to that special category that I kind of lured about earlier in the episode. We want to kind of just, what is your guess? Like what would you want to see in 2024 if any one of the big four or even another vendor outside of the big four was going to showcase a new radio that was going to either be the next replacement to a field radio or an HF radio. And I mean, ICOM and Yaesu and Kenwood, all of those guys are starting to get back into the game, and they're starting to release some really good designs and features in their radios. But what one thing would you want to see? And so let me throw it to you, Todd. What do you want to see that maybe we could hopefully see at Dayton or at Hamcation in 2024?
I'd like to see an update to the 891. It's been around. It's like a legend of a radio, in my opinion. It's been around for a long time and it's never failed, and a lot of people love it. But I think it'd be nicer to have it redone where we have a better way to navigate the radio, because the 891, it kind of is stacked on layers, so sometimes it's hard to move through the menus. So kind of like, I wish they could come up with like a 705 competition but keep it at 100 watts. I think that would be a huge game changer that they would be able to really compete. And I think if they put that radio out, I know I'd be on that list day one.
Oh yeah,
getting it. And I think anyone who does POTA would probably jump all over that too, just because it's just having the ability to move around and work with the menus. It's just the 891 is a little time consuming, and when you're doing POTA and you're doing a pile up or whatever, and you're trying to work someone, it'd be nice to just have it all there, like some of the more modern radios.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So if Yaesu, if you're watching this or you get a hold of this, please, I keep asking every year, and Santa's says you're not delivering. Yeah, not this year, son.
Did you email K8MRD? He has a direct line to Santa from last time I checked. Did you put in a request then?
Yeah,
maybe that's what it did. Yeah. How about you, Paul? What's your kind of coveted, hopefully 2024 radio that you'd like to see?
So it's difficult, right? Because I'm a budget conscious person. I live on a fixed income, and so anytime that I upgrade radios, it's a process. There's a lot of deliberation, a lot of planning involved. I started with the ICOM 706 Mark II-G. I love that radio. The fact that it's fairly small, it's compact, it's an all-in-one. Obviously, the 705 is the newer, nicer, better version of the all-in-one, but it's not QRO. Right. So I think if I hit the lottery tomorrow, and I got to hey ICOM, listen, this is what I want from you. I want something small, compact, portable like the 705, but give me the option for 100 watts.
Yeah. Sounds exactly like N2MAK said here. We all agree that it needs to look exactly like ICOM and follow and mirror ICOM, but have Yaesu logo on it. Sorry, Ryan.
That's all right.
Okay, so Ryan, we know what more can they improve on the 705 that you'd like to see in 2024?
If you pull out all the bells and whistles, it'd be nice to have a Flex 6800.
Oh, yeah, good call there. Yeah.
So something with the transverters built in, can do the higher frequencies, and there's a couple other small tweaks to it, but a full band Shack in a Box Flex.
In the words of Ham Radio Workbench, take my money. Yeah. It's simple as that, man. With that, I drool over that and figure out how I can mortgage house twice over.
What's nice about Flex is that they buy your radios back, so you've already got like a what you've ever invested into it. You've already kind of got like a down payment going.
Yeah.
It's actually a good idea. Not thinking about that. I totally forgot. Oh yeah, wow, yeah. That would be phenomenal. I would love to have, and I'm not of the camp like as a few others are of like having a lot of radios. Like, I mean, when it comes to HF in terms of my base, I like to have a few that do a lot, and I think that would be a perfect fit for that. That'd be awesome. All right, so me, that would be. I'm on the. I am very much in the camp with Todd and a few others that we need a 705 match toe for toe. That looks like an 891. In terms of power and functionality, but it revised looking 710 model. I don't know. I definitely one thing I would not want to see in that 705 killer is to have a fusion component. I don't think it needs to have digital like that. That for me would be like, I would probably never use it. Just like Ryan said with, the D-Star, he probably doesn't use the G-Star mode, but everything else in that radio is perfect. So that would be, I would have to say that I would agree with 100%. The only other thing I would think of is that if there was a way that we could, that Yaesu could come around like Yaesu. ICOM's sort of doing it. They already do it now. Flex definitely does it. Is get on the bandwagon with remote. Like, stop trying to develop these small like devices that plug in between that sort of service the capabilities to be able to do remote radio from your shack and only do it on one platform or another. Come up with a better way in your interfaces to make everything look like Flex. I hate to say everyone should do it like Flex. I think everyone should do their own implementation the way they should do it, but I think every radio in 2024 should start to have that capability. I mean, we're already seeing it with Elecraft story doing with their KX4. Flex has been doing it forever. There are a few other vendors that are starting to get around in that space. Everyone should start thinking in that sense and start thinking about, hey, give me an Ethernet port. I don't want to have a USB port any longer. Give me an Ethernet port. That's what I'm looking for in every radio, hopefully in 2024. And that includes even the VHF, UHF stuff. That would be phenomenal to be able to control some of those radios or have the capability.
Every radio should have either Ethernet or a Wi-Fi antenna, and
totally,
then they can roll the software out as needed. But get that hardware in there, and then that's then it can grow.
I also think that mobile radios should have some kind of Bluetooth so you can connect to your speakers and
a Bluetooth implementation that works with every other Bluetooth in the world, not
exactly.
their own.
Right, not their own. That's universal. That I can connect my car radio and speakers to the radio, and then that way I don't have
or
to have
keyboard, so I can do APRS from my 300. How is
right? Yeah.
Yes.
That would be very. I think that would be. I think if a company like if ICOM came out with something like that, I would probably switch 300 to that to have that ability.
Yeah, as Matt says, their components are so small. What is the problem? It's like, the same thing with, Yaesu, where they're using the D sub connector off the back of the radio, so you have DVI instead of HDMI. Come on, please.
I mean,
stop playing.
I mean, look at I got a watch that does more than my radio. Come on, it can be done.
Exactly. Computer. Come on. All right, cool. Well, hey, we could go on forever. And so, we are going to try to cut it off here because I know everyone is definitely got a busy week as we round and getting closer to Christmas. So thank you again for everybody in the chat. Appreciate all you guys. We had about 24 listeners. So thank you guys for all being a part of this. And we appreciate your support and, ask you to continue just, to be part of the community and help us out along the way. So, with that, thank you for joining Live Free and Ham. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, you can always connect with the show. You got a tattoo already? Wow, man, he's dedicated. I love it.
Wow.
All right,
that's some dedication.
That's dedication, my friend. Oh man. So leave us a show review on iTunes or our website. We will be glad to read it in our next episode. And you can always contact us on social media for the latest information, shows, and content. And you can support the show as always through our Patreon and buy us a beer links. And those are in our show notes and our website, as every bit helps the show. And as always, this live stream is recorded to a podcast within 24 hours. So you can definitely pick that back up if you're a regular subscriber to the podcast. And if you want to connect to any one of our hosts, Paul, myself, Todd, or Ryan, you can find all of our information up at livefreeandham.com. And as always, Merry Christmas. And thanks again for listening. For all of us at Live Free and Ham, 7-3.
7-3.
Thanks, guys.
73.
Thanks for joining us. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys soon. 73.